What up, homies? It's your boy Stev. So, check it out. Back in 1999, two aspiring British filmmakers made a sitcom called Spaced. This hilarious show only got one season, but it led the brilliant duo to up the ante and try out the movie business. Over the next decade, the two created perhaps three of the smartest comedies ever created: Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. This week, we're talking the Cornetto trilogy. Enjoy. So I'm just gonna say, Ashley, how are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Is there a segue?
Nope. Well, that was a good show. I'll see you later. No.
I'm doing okay. I know what I really like the director, and so I was really excited for this week
Okay.
because Baby Driver was this director.
Correct.
I love Baby Driver.
Edgar Wright triple feature. Early in his career, and then so he did the first two movies earlier in his career. So it's technically his second movie, but his first movie was a super independent movie called A Fistful of Fingers, I believe. It's like a Western spoof. But so first movie, Shaun of the Dead.
That's
and then,
his first movie?
yeah. And then his second movie's Hot. He did a television series before that called Spaced, which is actually very good. I recommend it to anybody who likes these movies. But so, and it's a lot of the same actors coming. It's pretty good. It's like it's about Simon Pegg's the main character, and the girl that he runs into in Shaun of the Dead when they're like running, and he runs into a random girl, and then he runs into her. Yeah. So it's about them who
They have like their own little group of 5 friends.
Yes, correct. So what it's about is they play a 20-somethings who are just friends, and they find a apartment for rent that's super cheap, but the landlord wants couples. So they pretend to be a couple, and that's what it's about. It's like, and like they have to keep this ruse up, and even though they're very platonic friends, but yeah, like the guy like Nick Frost is in it as well. There's a lot of the same people, but so he does. So what we're talking about today, maybe I don't know why I'm bearing the lead so much. The Cornetto trilogy. So Shaun of the Dead, and then Hot Fuzz was his next movie after Shaun of the Dead. And then he does a couple movies in between. He does like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He does.
I thought that was him too.
Yeah, amazing.
Which we love that movie.
I fucking love that movie.
I never watched the movie enough.
I know. I should watch that movie.
Yeah, but then it's better when you watch it once a year.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. So, sorry, I'm just turning my mics up. Okay, so he does like Scott Pilgrim. He does. I'm trying to think if he does. He has to. There's got to be something else I'm not thinking of that he did. But either way, and then he does The World's End, which is like so. The reason why they're called the Cornetto trilogy is, first of all, it's a lot of the same actors, a lot of the same. There's a lot of similarities too that I'll point out later, but there's each of them has a scene though where they eat a Cornetto ice cream. So in Shaun of the Dead, he eats it and it's strawberry, so it's red. In Hot Fuzz, and it's always Nick Frost who eats it. So Nick Frost, he's eating it and it's red, and then the second one is blue because it's like police, and then the third one is green, so it's like mint whatever, but it's like for aliens, right? So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so that's why they call it the Cornetto trilogy. The Cornetto, it must be some sort of ice cream flavor, like some sort of ice cream brand in
the England,
in the United Kingdom. Yeah. So
I thought you were gonna say United States.
Yeah. So they call it just like it's like an unofficial trilogy. Like I said, it doesn't sound like it, but they're all genre films. So one's like a zombie film, one's a police like action movie, and the other one's I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but it's an alien movie, and it's like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers movies, and like so they're kind of spoofs. And one thing that they do really good, one thing that he does really good with all three of these movies, if you ask me, like what makes him such a good director, and Simon Pegg a good writer / star, because the two of them wrote all three of these movies.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Nick Frost wasn't anything?
No, Nick Frost he didn't write it, but he was in all three of them, obviously. And
I always thought he was like a lead character with Simon Pegg, so I thought.
Yeah, no. So like they're friends. They've been friends for years,
but...
and it's just that. But he's always, the second bananas, and he's amazing in every one of those. Because Simon Pegg's really good at playing a main character, whether it's somebody who is too serious, not serious enough, or kind of somewhere in between. Mm-hmm. Whereas Nick Frost is always kind of the goofy, big best friend. As much as even like in the World's
End, his character changed in the beginning, and then he slowly descended into that character.
The second he does the 5 shots, it's like
exactly.
It's like
then he starts being the.
Sorry, 1 second. I am so sorry, maybe about I don't know. We were kind of like I'm trying to be quiet.
No, it's not your fault. I knew she was gonna be a while.
Oh, okay.
I was like, is she mad? And Steven's like, no.
It's like, I don't think so.
See, everyone thinks Dylan's mad, and I go, he's not mad. So it's funny that it's the other way.
Oof.
First off, I love that you have a backpack and you work from home. Ew.
Right?
Why?
Like, who does that anymore?
Ew. Who's the friend? What's his name? I know. You can do better than Steven. I know you can. Steven's like the bottom of the barrel.
Not the
Except he pays his own bills. That's pretty good.
I'm like second tier
he
from
is.
the
You know what? He cooks. He can cook.
Exactly.
You need a car. Your own car. Then that's when you get somewhere.
It's true. Did you watch Last Night in Soho? You ever see it? It's pretty good.
I already have it on my phone. It's like the close-up of the girl, and she's had like neon lights on her.
Yeah.
I already know. It's in my phone.
It's a pretty good, like, and here's the thing. Now that you've watched all of these movies, what's that, baby?
Look at her.
Love
she
you,
like
baby.
packed her whole life. Bye, Mel. Have a better second life. I'm very proud of you for leaving.
But yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's like if you like these movies and you like, Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver, shit like that, I give it a go. Here's the thing. I've actually talked to people about it, and I'm of the opinion that it's his worst movie. But that is saying something. Like, because I love it. It sounds weird. I love the movie, but all of his movies are so fucking good.
You're fucking joking me.
Oh.
You could not think that all of his movies are that fucking like.
I think they're amazing. I think they're works of art.
You're
like
wrong.
What?
You're just wrong.
What?
You're just wrong.
I have a funny feeling like we're gonna have different opinions on
Let me
these
eat
movies.
a couple of Reese's to fucking
prepare,
settle my blood pressure. God, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Can't open this.
I know, right? I struggled too. I was trying to open it the other day, and I was like, "Why the fuck is this so hard?"
That's why you guys don't eat them.
No, because there's a little slit.
You can't open it.
There's a little slit. You gotta like.
Sweetie, honey, boo boo. That's what I was tearing
Trust me.
on.
Yeah, you think
and
you were,
it didn't open. So I'm gonna eat fucking fruit. Yummy. Okay.
All right. Now that we've got that out of the way, but I don't remember what I was saying, but I do remember that it was about the 3 movies we were gonna watch. Okay, so. But yeah, no, they're all 3 genre movies. They're all 3 spoofs, but, one thing that there's a couple of things they all have in common, but the one thing that I really like about all 3 of them are they start out as comedies that are spoofing a genre. But then by the end of the movie, they become a really good version of that genre. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I would say that Shaun of the Dead starts out as actually one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, especially if you love zombie movies. If you love zombie movies like I do, I'm popular for once. Sorry. If you love zombie movies like I do, there's so many references, and like, it's so funny. And then, but by the end of the movie, we'll say about once the 3rd act hits, it goes from being funny and it becomes one of the best zombie movies ever created. Do you know what I mean? I would actually put it up there in at least the top 5 best zombie films ever made. And like, that's what all these films have in common, in my personal opinion. Like, Hot Fuzz starts out as a spoof of action films. It's like almost making fun of like how silly they are. But then by the end, it's a pretty fucking solid gunfight action movie.
Right.
And then same with like The World's End. But so still in spoilers. Ashley, what did you think? Be
Is
honest.
it not in spoilers?
We're in spoilers. So just grand. Just what did you think?
Okay. I have a really hard time with this director for me.
Okay.
This director is one of the main directors in my life that I've watched where I have a literal love-hate relationship with them.
Okay.
I love one of my top movies is Shaun of the Dead.
Big fan.
Another top movie of mine is Scott Pilgrim.
Agreed.
If you want to put Baby Driver in there, those are 3 movies that are one of my highest because he does something that nobody else can accomplish, which is integrating music with the movie like nobody else has ever done in the history to right now.
It's true. And it's actually funny.
Unless you're like a fucking musical like Grease or something, then fine. But
definitely.
Still.
But like, here's the thing. I would say Baby Driver is a musical.
Baby Driver for me blew my brain. The way they're like closing trunks and they're like throwing stuff in the back seat, but it's perfectly.
Yeah.
And cue, and it's like, buddy, like for that guy to time that is an art that I will appreciate.
No, I agree. And it's actually funny because like since you watched these 3 movies,
right,
you could actually see the escalation of it. So they actually there's a scene in Shaun of the Dead that's pretty much that.
Right.
Where they fight the zombie to
in the bar.
Song. Yeah.
In the bar.
It's like the hit it.
Yeah.
And then like that whole action scene is to that song. So it's like, oh, so it's almost like pre-Baby Driver, like him kind of
testing it out. Yeah.
And then there's a lot of scenes in The World's End that are very similar, where they're walking to music, drinking to music,
right,
and they're like, but yeah, so it's like, it's funny, like you could see where he like
slowly is getting there. And
then he does Baby Driver, and then he does Last Night in Soho, which I also think is very music heavy.
Okay.
It's a movie that takes place in modern day, but it's about a girl who can like, when she listens to a particular song, it like transports her to the 60s. It sounds weird, but she's not her. She's like a different person.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's super interesting, but it has a lot to do with like 60s music and fashion. She's a fashion designer, so it has a lot to do with that too, but it's very cool. I recommend that movie too, but yeah,
so,
but go ahead. Sorry.
So like, I'm having a hard time with that. Those are my top movies. I would fight people to tell them he's
okay.
However, you're already mad at me. But then we come across the movies like Hot Fuzz and The World's End that just I don't understand what happened.
So you didn't like them?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, hear me out. I own Hot Fuzz. I have seen Hot Fuzz probably 5 times in my life, so I don't hate it. The World's End, I will never watch again.
Really?
Yeah.
Never watch again.
Buddy, we've had this argument before in one of our podcasts about I'm just not an alien person. And when you start touching that realm of the blue eyes, they're going to suck. Okay, like my skin crawled. I'm good. Yeah, it's just not worth it for me. And it sucks that like you have told me to watch this for fucking years. I've never watched it. This is my first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just, buddy, and it was funny. And then it came to that bathroom scene, and he knocks the guy's head off, and I'm like, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready for work, and I'm like, what? I'm like rewinding, like, what did I just miss? And it turns out, of course, it's a fucking alien. I did not. Okay, what I will say about the 2 shitty movies, as shitty as they are, I did not guess the endings. So there's that.
Okay. So
for someone that's seen a lot of movies like me, like, it's kind of nice not knowing the ending. But yeah, they're fucking terrible.
All right. Well, great.
But Shaun of the Dead is fantastic. And we always, every podcast, go, boy.
Because of that movie, yeah.
And then I was walking into work, and there are those moments when you're like deep in thought and you're working and you're like alone and you're not talking to anybody. And then you think of something that makes you laugh. today I had that, but I'm a bartender. So it's just in the middle of nowhere, I'm making a drink. And I went, with the pow, super mum.
To a wonderful mum or pow,
Super mum. It's the way she says it. I just burst out laughing. Because I know me, I would have been like, pow, super mom, no fucking argument.
Fuck,
Let's
yeah.
fucking go.
No, pow, super mum is happening.
Then he's like, no, just the first one thing. Or pow, super mom. But anyways, yeah, that's my opinion. You can go ahead. We can talk about it. My mic is moving. Every time I move my mic, it moves back that way. And I thought I was going crazy.
Oh.
I
don't think it's moving.
It is moving.
I think you're on some good drugs, Ashley.
I'm not. Look, it's moving. I'm not crazy. It was right here 2 seconds ago. You saw me do that. You're fucked. Don't even whatever. Talk about your stupid fucking movies.
All right. So I'm assuming if you would rate them.
You are joking. That is totally moving. Why is it going that way? What?
Gravity. If you're going to rate the movies, let's just say you had to rate them, what would you rate them?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
No, like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End. I'm assuming
that's exactly the order.
Okay. I would say that The World's End is better than Hot Fuzz. I think it's just a better made movie. They're all pretty fantastically made, though.
It is definitely... Okay, if we are going by like breaking it down section by section, World's End is probably a better movie. Hot Fuzz, there was not really much of a story really to follow. World's End, it was what is happening and then what is happening and then what is happening, and it just kept, and I kind of liked that. Hot Fuzz, you're like,
the thing's not moving, Ashley. I'm sorry, the mic is not moving.
Buddy, it was directly in the middle of me. Look, it's moving.
It's a ghost microphone.
Anyways, yeah, I World's End has more of a storyline and it's more exciting to watch.
Okay. Because
Hot Fuzz, you're just like, all right, like, I get it. This guy's an idiot and this guy's good and let's carry on. Like, anyways, that's my opinion. Why do you think World's End is better than Hot Fuzz?
I think we'll get into it. I think a lot of the reasons you said. I think it's a very meticulously made movie. I think it looks great. I think you're right. It just keeps you on your toes. You're like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. And there's a lot of little things that I love about it that I'll talk about when we get into that part of it. I will actually say too that I will admit the first time I saw Hot Fuzz, I didn't like it. It sounds weird. You okay? You're gonna have a heart attack? Is it the fucking microphone?
I'm good.
Is it the ghost microphone?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
I was expecting Shaun of the Dead again, and Hot Fuzz is very different.
It's extremely different.
And so I went in expecting something, and I got something else, and that bugged me. So it wasn't until I watched it. You know what? And here's the thing. I didn't watch it for a couple of years after that because I was like, I'm not a fan. It wasn't until I watched it with friends and they were pointing out like, no, this is amazing. You got check this out. And then I was like, okay, I kind of respect it now. So, and then when I went and saw The World's End, I knew what to expect that time. So I was like, and it's more like Shaun of the Dead if you ask me.
Which is funny because it's going to go back to right here.
It's not.
And it's,
all right, we're moving on. So 2004 Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, that's what I was saying. So what is really, really odd is that he did Shaun of the Dead and then he skipped a few movies and then did Baby Driver, which is the exact same energy, in my opinion, as Shaun of the Dead. It's a whole different genre, but just the quick laughs. That's the you got red on you. Or like it's just quick laughs, small, tiny little through the whole movie. That was the same energy for me. It's not like you were laughing the whole way in Baby Driver. It's just like the Myers mask part. Like little jokes like that where you're like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's something that would happen when you're with idiots, you know? Like shit like that. Him talking to his dad, and he's being all fun. I guess it's not his dad, whoever the guy is, but...
See, it's funny you say that's a lot more like Shaun of the Dead. I think that's more like The World's End, to me.
See, there's no way.
I think there's a definite evolution of his style. And if you go from Shaun of the Dead, I think in order, they go Shaun of the Dead. Like, it all, like, accumulates to what Baby Driver became.
Okay.
And then I think it's actually funny because I think his next one, Last Night in Soho, I think is like, I feel like Baby Driver is like the peak of like his style. And then Last Night in Soho is him taking it back a little bit and be like, ooh, I gotta rein it in. And then his next movie, I apologize. His next movie is going to be a horror movie, like a straight up horror movie. So, although Last Night in Soho was also a horror movie, but like, it's going to be like, with like Scarlett Johansson, I want to say. It's going to be like, it's based off a book. So, but, I like Shaun of the Dead a lot. Like, I've already I gave it a sloppy blowjob earlier on. That's
a great fucking movie. That's just one of those movies, man, I can just put on and I know I'm going to giggle. Just him in the shed at the end. Like, there's the most funniest little small jokes. They decide to go to a pub. Like,
it's so stupid.
Like, oh my gosh. And what is it called? The Winchester.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Winchester. Like, the whole movie is just jokes and jokes, and it's funny.
So the way to look at it is, I like to think that Shaun of the Dead is very much a movie about boys in their 20s. Two guys in their 20s. Where would you go if the world ended? You'd go to the fucking bar. We could hold up at the bar, get drunk every day. That's something you would do in your 20s when you're a fucking dumb idiot. And then your 30s, action movies. And then when you're in your 40s and you're past your prime, everybody's divorced. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the world's end. You see what I'm saying? So 100%, I do agree. I love the fact too that as much as this is a zombie film, because I'm going to keep calling it a zombie film to the day I die, it is also a really, really good breakup movie.
It is.
Because that's really what it's about, is his girlfriend breaks up with him because he's not, although he actually turns 30, but still, it's still very much a 20s movie. But like, his girlfriend breaks up with him, and it's about him trying to like prove to her that he's good enough.
Right. So he like helps his mom and helps his mom's dad or boyfriend, and you know, and like he's trying to be the hero to show her
that he can be. Like,
he can be.
And then, so we're in the spoiler section now, and it's good that they do end up together. I love that, actually. What do you think of the ending of this movie?
I do like that. I feel like it was unnecessary that the sister's boyfriend is in confession or whatever.
Oh, no, I don't think they're sisters. I think they're just flatmates.
Just like her boyfriend is like...
But everybody has that.
I fucking, like, come on.
I mean, like, if you're going to have the archetypal characters in a breakup movie, like a romance movie, you got the main guy, you got the main girl, and then you got the other guy who's friends with the girl that you know wants to bang her. But she doesn't think that. But
you're dating the roommate. Just shut your fucking mouth.
I agree.
So that, like, was completely unnecessary. I don't have much really bad to say about it, though. I really don't. There's not, like, even the little jokes are just...
Perfect. And here's the thing. So this actually, if I was to say what his style is, so especially from, like, Here to Baby Driver, like we're talking about, but especially these three movies, there are so many things that happen in the beginning that come back later. Mm-hmm. Like, and that for all three of these movies. Like, so I'm going to point them out in all three.
I've got red on you. Comes back later.
He comes back twice. Yeah. And then even like little things, like every time you're watching a TV, it shows like something. So one of them's like a game show where like you're like all bungeed up. One of them is like a Maury or like a Jerry Springer like show. There's a bunch of them. And then at the very end, when they're watching the TV, it's the same thing. It's the same exact shows that you've been shown, except now it's post-zombie. So it's like now the girl who like was complaining about her boyfriend in the opening, now she's sad that he's a zombie. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, so it's interesting that they bring all that shit back. There's all, and and even just like lines like that, like you got red on you. I love the two like walks. There's like long tracking oneers where like he walks from his house to the convenience store. He does it twice. He does it once before and once like post-zombie and pre-zombie. Yeah. So like
when he closes the fridge door and it's just covered in blood and shit.
Yeah,
he doesn't even notice.
And he like slips.
Jack and orange juice, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't that what he gets? Jack and orange juice?
No, he gets...
Am I thinking of something else?
I think he's thinking of something else. He just gets a Coca-Cola. Or a Diet Coke or something. But he gets an ice cream too for Ed both times. And that's the Cornetto part of it. But...
Oh.
So... But yeah, I like it too. Even like the zombie who's like the homeless guy walking up to him, and he's like, sorry man, I got no change for you. And he just like stuff like.
And he's trying to eat him.
It's so fucking funny. And like in the first one, there's
the couple's making out, and they're like do 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 do.
But even like in the first one, he's walking and the person like runs past him because they're like just like a morning jog. And the second time, the same person's running, but they're running for their life. But it's like you just wouldn't, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't fucking notice. And I think it's very funny. I think it works very well.
You are right. There are the little things like that, but you're missing them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things that like you don't realize how meticulously made this movie is until you really think about it. Like, it's shit that you wouldn't notice. Even, like, I want to say how Supermom comes back. Or maybe it's to a Wonderful Mom. Comes back twice.
Well, it does come back later because she's like, you got me flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're in the car or something, and he meets the mom or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, to a Wonderful Mom. And he's like, ooh. But then later on, and then the mom does find the flowers in the garbage, and she's like, oh, to a Wonderful Mom. Like, it's like, no, it's a good movie. I like it. I like where it ends up. It becomes, like I said, a fucking awesome zombie flick.
I love that he keeps his buddy in the shed. That's hilarious.
But even that is like a reference to something from earlier when him and Pete are fighting. Him and the roommate are fighting. His roommate yells at him. He's like, if you want to keep him in the fucking shed like the animal he is. And then he walks away. At the very end, he keeps him in the shed.
Funny.
There's like, it's like everything's a fucking reference to something.
He's trying to play a video game. He's like, trying to eat him, and he's like, stop.
And then even that is referenced later. So he walks up. No. It's not that scene, but it's later on when he comes home and he's trying to ask him about his like messages and shit. But he's like, hey man, how are you? He's like, I'm good. And he's playing the video game, and he's like, ooh, top left. And he's like, oh, thanks, buddy. And he's like, and then they're talking. Like, look to the right. That exact same conversation happens later on when they're shooting the zombies in the bar. Except he's holding the gun and he's like, top left. And he's, to the right.
I didn't even notice.
It's the exact same fucking... It's so meticulously made, this movie. Like, and all of them are like that. It's just this one's a little more hidden. Whereas
you have to just watch. It's like a Taylor Swift music video. There's Easter eggs everywhere. You just got to watch it 100 times.
No, it's true. So, I got nothing bad to say about this movie. I'm a big fan. You want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next is Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz on the loose. I don't know.
Hot Fuzz on the loose.
We never even really talked about Simon Pegg. How do you like Simon Pegg?
I am a big fan of Simon Pegg. I remember there's a particular type of actor, and for the longest time, anytime I was trying to explain this actor, I would always be like, oh, Simon Pegg is the perfect example of this. Simon Pegg is somebody who, even when they're being serious, like, they're just naturally funny.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what the fuck they're doing, they just come off as funny.
You know who I think of that as? Pause. Horrible Bosses. The guy who works with Julia.
You're talking about Charlie Day?
Yes.
Like from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
He is that exact energy.
Yeah.
You can yell and you can be as serious as you want. His voice makes me want to fucking just burst. Yes, makes me want to burst out laughing. Yeah. Continue.
No, but like that's Simon Pegg for me. Like he's very naturally funny. And then I remember when they cast him as Scott, like Montgomery Scott in Star Trek, and I was over the moon. I'm like, you fucking couldn't pick anybody better. Like, fucking perfect. And then even to this day, he's in like the Mission Impossible movies, and he's fucking amazing in them. Like even again when he's serious, he's just like a computer hacker. There's some like he's not saying things that are funny. You know what I mean? He can't help himself. He's just like he's just levity for some reason. Like. And no, that's him. And I think he's a great main character. I think he's a great, even in The World's End. Like, if you were to ask me the biggest fucking problem with The World's End, which I guess that's the next movie. Maybe we should we'll get to it then. But like, the main character of that movie is a fucking asshole. He is an absolute dickhole. Like, fuck that guy. But even when he's fucking playing an absolute jerk, he's kind of funny. So, you know what I mean? And Nick Frost is also fucking hilarious. So
I like Nick Frost.
Nick Frost
Simon has this weird. I don't know. It's
fucking microphone.
It has never done this ever. We probably recorded how many hours in this basement? God, I'm gonna get a little headset. A little boop. So great, you asked. A little. Simon, I have this weird, it's like a love-hate relationship with him. I don't know. I like him, and there's a part of me that's just like, you're just irritating.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, Nick Frost does not do that to me, though. I like Nick.
Nick Frost is fucking hilarious.
I think he's funny. And I can't believe he runs like full pursuit in The World's End. Boggled me.
Oh, my God,
that
right?
A man his size, and he just fucking went for it. Yeah, I was like, damn, Nick, good for you.
Okay. No, yeah, we'll get a lot into World's End. I'm excited to talk about that movie, but as much as you didn't like it. But Hot Fuzz, another one where everything that is said comes back later, like
the hag.
Yeah, hag,
fascist,
which she yells at him and he yells at her. Even like there's a scene where I'm trying to think what happens to the doctor. The doctor. He likes, the BB gun. He gets shot in the foot with the BB gun. When it shows where they're at the carnival before the guy gets the fucking block on the head, he accidentally shoots the or I want to say Nick Frost accidentally shoots the doctor, and then they're walking away. He's like, "Oh, I feel bad," and then Simon Pegg says, he's a doctor. He'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he shoots him in the foot with the shotgun. He's like, "You're a doctor. Deal with it." Like they're all like. Shit that's said earlier comes back, and I fucking love it. Like,
I do like that they're really, really serious on catchphrases. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "You need to chill out." And he's like, "Yeah." And they get
fucking tight. Yeah.
Yeah, like I did like that. I do like the idea of.
Oh no, that's what he says. You're off the fucking chain. Sorry, go ahead.
I do like the idea of a police officer who is in a small town. And he has never had to, do anything like that. That is a real thing. I can see these two actually having this
100%.
as a relationship.
It's actually very realistic, this idea where it's like, imagine being like a workaholic.
Right. Imagine being a New York cop who's like serious.
And then he gets sent somewhere where it's like, oh, you don't have to do anything. You just got to sit at a desk. You're fine.
Yeah.
And they keep telling him, no. Like, we don't actually do anything here. We just... Like, that would drive you fucking crazy.
Like, they all drink underage which I would never drink underage. I'd serve underage. I'm just saying. Whenever she's like, oh, well, I would rather them here than on the streets.
Yeah.
I can see that
especially in a small town. Everybody knows everybody.
I can see that in a small
town.
They
know their parents. You know what I mean?
I would rather them drink in the bar where I can see them than out doing whatever, wherever, with whoever. Yeah. I'm watching them the whole time. So, I can see that in a small town.
I agree.
I can see all these things being run that way in a small town. All these things happening. Obviously not to that extent. I'm just saying.
Yeah. One thing I actually really liked about this movie the first time I saw it. So, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan, but when I did first see it, one thing I really, really thought was interesting was, because the movie's humor isn't super mature.
Okay.
It's very like, I don't know, it's like teenage. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like very PG-13. But the murder scenes are fucking graphic.
Dude, when that tower fell on the guy,
holy. That's the one where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because the first one you see that's like really, really graphic is that two heads on the ground. And you're like, oh my God. Like, you just see two fucking,
it's Miss Squirrel.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
from, what movie is that? With Cameron Diaz. Bad Teacher. Did you say squirrel? Yeah, you know. It's the one teacher. It took me probably half an hour to figure out who that fucking woman was. But yes, the decapitated scene. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's fucking so graphic. And then, like, every fucking kill after that, it's like, oh my God, it's so it's like, I did like that juxtaposition between, and maybe that's the point. It's like, it's supposed to be so, like, I don't know, small town, and then, but it's like, I don't know, this shit's so serious. And I do actually like, too, the second that does happen with the dude in the, like, the super graphic one, and Simon Pegg's like, they're like, oh, that was a crazy accident, and Simon Pegg was like, this is not an accident, this is a murder. And then the police captain, I guess he is, Buddy's dad, he's like, are you saying this is a crime? And he's like, yes. All of a sudden, boom, he snaps to it, and he's like the best fucking cop in the world.
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking you. It's just like, oh my God. Like, I do like the idea that he actually knows how to do that. Like, I think that's kind of fun.
Well, he's been doing it every day for how many years? And now these people are like, what are codes? And then he's like, you can't say it's a car accident, and you have to say
traffic collision.
Like, he kept correcting, like, no, you can't say that. You got to say this.
Yeah.
But really, though, let's be real. Like, I had a fire at my work a couple days ago. You can't tell the customers why. You're just like, sorry, food's taking a couple minutes longer than expected. I'm sorry. A little, mechanic malfunction. That's a real story.
Okay.
But I can't say, hey, man, 3 of my fryers are on fire right now.
It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, it's just...
We might want to exit the building, actually.
You can't. You're in a hotel.
Yeah,
right?
True.
You gotta. My restaurant's attached to a hotel, so you can evacuate. So you're like, no, it's just a little malfunction, just being a little pissy at 6:30 in the morning. You know how it is, and like, really, my boss is freaking out.
It's like,
so that's real. That's a real. How I can see him being like, no, this is what you need to say.
Yeah.
Because imagine a server going out saying,
it's like, oh yeah,
my kitchen's on fire. You're like, no.
They're like, the fuck did you just say? Like. People fucking in the middle of their sandwiches like, wait, what? Like
exactly, like you can't. So I completely understand. I like that, though. He is and he's teaching everybody that he's sticking to his books. Because they even said, like, why are you going to take all these kids in? Like, it's fine. And he's like, no, that's the law. And I like that he stuck to what his book.
That's his thing, yeah. And then he finds out that it gets everybody killed. Everybody that he arrests gets killed. So we're in spoiler territory.
It's super sad when he's like, I'll deal, or whatever he says, I'll deal with them.
Yeah. I did like that Sergeant Skinner is another one not Sergeant Skinner.
Mr. Skinner.
Mr. Skinner, yeah. He's so fucking obviously the villain. I love it's so fucking obvious that it's like, there is no way. And it turns out he totally is. Like, I think that's one of the funniest fucking things. Like,
so you're all about him. But now that I watched the movie, because I forgot the ending.
Okay.
I kind of remembered the ending, but I kind of forgot most of it. So it's kind of a surprise for me. I wonder, we are in spoilers 100% now. I wonder if you go back and watch the movie, if you will see one of the townspeople limping.
Oh, because it's like, because one of them did get cut in the leg. So it's like, who would it be? You
didn't know that yet. You know this half an hour later. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, ooh, I really want to watch it again and see if for some reason someone had a limp or someone had a cane that never did. Like the woman, the convenience store, was she kind of I don't know. And it makes you wonder because it's not Mr. Skinner. We know that. But yeah, now that there's like little eggs like that, you're like, well, wait, Mr. Skinner was gone. So who was at the carnival? Let's see. And I want to count who was at the carnival, and it's a whole thing.
There's so many of them though that it's like it's almost
there's
impossible.
There's like 12 of them. And I love that he like gives him his car and he's like, you can go. And then he shows up on a horse.
Yeah.
Why on a horse?
Well, that's it. That comes back too, right? Because he does the thing to his eye and it squirts out blood. And he's like, holy shit. And he's like, ha ha ha. And then later on, that's how he gets him out of it, is the trick.
Yeah.
So it's like everything's foreshadowed, right?
You knew something was up when he said, you're going to need this. And he put his book in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
It's
like,
true.
I get it. It came in the very, very beginning when he said, like, this is my greatest weapon. And it was his book. But it's like, that was so out of place.
I do like that scene when it's if a cop was doing that, if anybody was doing that to me, it would drive me fucking crazy.
He's
it's
writing
like
down everything.
Every single thing you say. It's like, stop writing, stop writing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was very funny. And I got, so what would you, the action scene at the end, the big gunfight.
Oh, I fucking love this movie for the action scenes.
It's pretty awesome, right?
He did very, very good with the action scenes.
Uh-huh.
Just that last... and then finally the fucking bomb goes off. I love that. But yeah, like, that is the one thing he knows how to do, and he showed us that in Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Well,
even Scott Pilgrim. Great fight scenes. Like, can't go around with the...
Okay. Pause.
Sorry.
All right. Yes, but no.
Okay.
Gun jumping over things, fucking.
Yeah.
Things are destroying, flying. Whole different thing than just punch, kick, jump in the air. This guy is fucking singing songs and he's a bat. I don't fucking know. Okay. That scene fucks with me. I hate that fucking scene.
I love that movie.
I hate that one boyfriend. Why? I love the vegan powers.
Matthew Patel.
He's vegan. He has magic powers. It means he's better than you. Like, that is hilarious. But yeah, that's a whole different, in my opinion, for me. Because, okay, it sounds really like I said Pitch Perfect, how like when you watch the movie, you feel like beatboxing is like easy.
Yeah.
It's like me and you could go in the backyard and we can plan a fight where I'm like, okay, I'm going to punch here and but we can't ever direct, maybe I can't, a fucking fight scene with 8 guns and everyone shooting.
I
and
feel like it'd be easier than a fist fight.
No, I don't think so at all. That'd be horrible.
Because it's just inserts. You just get in inserts. Whereas like a fist fight, it's like choreographed.
Yeah, but
it's like
that's
a dance.
fine. That'd be easier than... Okay, this pot's going to explode, but you have to move over to the left a little bit. Then you are shooting as well. Yeah. So now it's like a whole thing.
Okay.
I feel like Baby Driver in this movie, he really showed us that he could orchestrate that great as well.
Yeah.
And that makes it even more amazing that he has his own niche with music. And then he's able to translate it beautifully into... Because you got to admit, there's not one... Even in The World's End, every fight scene is awesome.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about the fight scenes ever in any of his movies. They're all amazing.
Yeah.
Except for that one boyfriend. I fucking hate him.
Is it Matthew Patel?
Matthew Patel.
Okay.
Did you read the email? I skimmed it. Like the whole boring delete. I gotta watch that movie now.
I love the what's the email address for Amazon.ca? Or Amazon. Yeah, it is Amazon.ca.
Yeah. Amazon.ca.
Is it Amazon.ca?
I love when he's like, is Scott here? No, he left and he just jumps through the window.
Through the fucking window. And then you see him running down the street. Yeah.
He grabs his coat and runs down like.
Oh, genius.
Yeah, that movie is great. You guys gotta watch that.
Anyway.
We actually watched.
No, we didn't.
We've never judged that movie. We judged Shaun of the Dead.
We did a commentary for it years ago. We might have to do another one though.
We did watch it though. I feel like we did.
Nope.
Maybe not.
Was it on the list?
God, I love that movie.
Me too.
Anyways, so yeah, I have nothing really bad to say about his action scenes.
No, his action scenes are fucking awesome.
They're absolutely incredible.
I do think, yeah. I think the ending goes on a little longer than it should. Like the explosion at the end, then
Yeah.
and then I don't know. It's just like whatever. But and even like the fight where it's supposed to be like Godzilla, where like they're fighting in the small town. I'm like whatever. Like I'm kind of over it at that point. But especially because the joke to me is they're trying to get away, and then it turns out the goose gets them. Or the swan.
Yeah.
Like, that's a funny ending to them, if you ask me.
Yeah,
like,
where he, like, puts it in the car. Finally.
Yeah, where it's like, because the whole fucking joke is...
He's trying to catch the swan.
Yeah, and they tell him it's not important, and then finally he gets it, and then that's what does him in at the end. And I think that's very funny. Like, that's a great ending, but either way. I like the movie a lot. It's a very good action movie, like I said. It's a great spoof that turns into actually an amazing action movie. And that's really all I got. What do you want to move on?
Yeah. So yeah, the movie is, I don't know. As I said, I watched it 5 times. Like I can rewatch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like there are definitely great parts in it. Just the movie as a whole, coming from Shaun of the Dead, completely lost it for me.
Agreed.
Because I completely understand where you're coming from, where you're excited because you've seen Shaun of the Dead, and then it turns out it's completely different.
And I will say
it's the same, but it's very different.
I will say, and I remember going to see Shaun of the Dead in theaters and just thinking it's a zombie movie. I want to say it came out the same year as Dawn of the Dead, like the remake. So it's like, I'm like, you know what I mean? The zombies are coming back, and it's like, okay, cool, yeah. And I remember going to see it, and I didn't know what was coming. Do you know what I mean? And it blew my fucking hair back. So like,
did you know it was a comedy?
I did know it was a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. But
they must have done that in the.
Oh yeah, in the trailers. I remember the
trailer.
trailers.
Yeah, that it was comedy.
But
like even the scene where he's waiting for his condo to get ready and he's holding his plant and all the trains are going by, but just that scene has Shaun of the Dead written all over it.
Yeah. So
there are scenes that have it.
That's true. It's
just he kind of gets lost, and then the fight scenes are amazing, but he kind of gets lost in the middle where he's kind of like, am I comedy? Am I not? I don't know. And then he transitions just into action instead.
Which is, I think it works. But anyway, moving on to The World's End, which Ashley doesn't like. Wah, wah, wah.
What if I really liked it?
I thought you didn't like it.
I didn't. I love that your duck has a sideways hat. I was shopping for an SUV because I have to, and there's a small part of me that wants to get a Jeep Wrangler. And I'm like, can I deal with the ducks though? Like I just have all these fucking ducks. Like yeah, it's in the glove compartment, but you got to move all the extra ducks. Anyways, continue. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not.
The World's End. Ashley, talk to me. Give me your honest opinion. Not that honest.
Okay. It might be a more boring movie.
Okay.
But if they just kept the premise, then the whole storyline, I think it would have been a better movie for me.
So
just
remove the aliens.
Just the 5 guys, and they find out. Are we in?
Yeah, we're in spoilers. We're in
spoilers.
Yeah.
And Buddy finds out that his mom is not dead, and he's, suicidal, fucking drunk, drug addict, fucking loser, and they're all trying to help each other, and then you find out that Buddy's wife left. Like, if they kept that narrative, I actually think the movie would be better. Okay. And it's just Simon Pegg just trying to get to the fucking world's end, and these guys are like, I don't fucking care, and they keep leaving him, and it turns out that the one guy is there left.
But there's got to be something that stops them. There's got to be something that happens.
So I completely understand why the alien narrative is there.
So the whole alien aspect is supposed to be a reference to like how it's like when you leave somewhere and you come back and it's like it's been taken over by aliens because it's not the same anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like a shell of what it used to be. Like when you lived there, it had character, and now it's just nothing to you anymore. And that's kind of what the idea is supposed to be. Like So I love how they literally made it. No, aliens took over, and I think that's kind of a funny idea. Go again. So third time I'm saying it because again he doesn't really every movie. Every single thing that happens in this movie is referenced in the first 10 minutes.
Shut up.
Every single thing. So because he explains what happened. What happened the first time they tried it when they were kids, and it follows the exact same plot where it's like the first person out is the old man who like he started puking, and then they left the second guy in the park, and then they get in a fight at the one bar, and like Buddy rips his shirt open. They end up at the golf course to smoke a joint, and it's like, and they end up watching the town from like that hill. It's like the three of them, and that's exactly what happens in the whole fucking movie. Like that's exactly what happens.
Isn't that funny?
So I like that.
I didn't even notice. But he said, "Oh man, was there later than last time?"
Okay, but it's not Oh Man anymore.
Right, but how do you know where Oh Man stopped?
So he goes to the bathroom at one point, and he comes out, and that's when he's now an alien. But you could actually tell from his phone thing, his like, what do you call it, Bluetooth?
Yeah.
When he's not an alien, it's never on. When he is an alien, it's always blinking blue. And that's how, oh, and his scar's gone. No. Yeah, his scar's back.
His scar's back.
And that's,
Oh Man had his scar removed.
yes. And that's how you know it's like the same guy. So it's the alien now.
Shut up! I didn't even notice that.
So it's like you don't think it's, so it's like, but you actually did lose him at the exact same pub.
See, because I knew there was a point in like the club where you can tell.
Yeah.
Is it the club where you can tell
It's like, oh, he's definitely
not right?
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah,
going
where
on.
he's like, yeah, they're while Oh Man would be so fucking mad that he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys making out with fucking chicks that are like, what are you doing? Like,
Weird.
Let's go.
And I love it when Nick Frost punches the girl in the gut and rips his ring out.
Wedding ring.
Love it. I think it's amazing.
It was pretty hot though that she like sucked the ring off.
I mean,
Yeah, and he's like, I guess I'm not married anymore. You're fucking right about that. Yeah, that's a big fucking ring. Imagine the ring on that hand.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, what size ring are you?
I'm fucking big. I don't know. It's big.
Holy, I think he has bigger hands than you.
Oh yeah, probably.
So
I got some big
imagine,
fucking
yeah.
hands though, too. So
Anyways, that was very, very clever. I did like that.
yeah.
Because there was a point when he's walking down the street and he like looked and he's like,
Yeah.
because you could tell that he lost it, and that was
And he
super
fucking
sad.
punches her in the gut. I think it's fantastic.
That was clever. I liked that.
I love where this movie goes. And I know, so you said you're not a big fan of the, and here's the thing. Okay, so even like, we'll go back to what I was going to say. That fight scene in the bathroom where you said you had no fucking clue where this was going.
Of course not.
Okay.
How the fuck would I know?
I don't know, but
So what I need to preface to the listeners that you know is that I don't even watch trailers.
which is awesome. Yeah.
I don't do anything. I just go in blind, which here it's different, but I actually watch movies at home often, recommended by TikTok or recommended by you or people.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what era, what actors, what it's about, what genre. I have no idea.
Okay. 'Cause
So
that was actually the one thing I was most excited about was that bathroom scene. I was so curious what you were going to think.
did they say that it was aliens
No.
in the trailer?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
so-
no. In the trailer, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I would have known if...
If you watch the trailer, yeah.
No, I was literally getting ready for work and this guy's head popped off. And I'm like, wait, what? And I had to like rewind it. And I'm like, what? Yeah, like it threw me right off.
Okay.
I was not expecting it.
So going from there, I love where this movie ends up, where it's like he can't help himself. He has to finish it. And it's like him running from pub to pub while this fucking world is literally ending.
Yeah.
And it's like Nick Frost can't like leave him. He has to like, and it's like, I think I'm a huge fan of where like the ending of this movie. I think it goes to like, it cranks it to fucking 12, where it's just like hundreds of aliens trying to get him, and he just keeps fighting them off and shit. And like, I think it's fantastic. I think it's great, personally.
Yeah, I hate that you like pull a lever and that was the one lever and it's like,
Yeah, because nobody ever makes it. No one ever made it to the world's end. That's like the point.
No, but it poured beer. He just poured the wrong tap.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, because...
Oh, no, because it was sitting there.
No,
the
but
beer
there
was sitting there.
There's a scene when he's pouring the beer and then Nick tackles him and he smashes the beer.
Yeah.
But there's beer in the cup. So beer came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just that specific spout off to the far right of the bar. Okay. Maybe I might be wrong. But I doubt it. I think I saw beer in the cup.
Okay.
But you're right. It was already done for him when he walked in.
Yeah. I also really like that.
What a good bar name.
The World's End. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I thought this movie was This Is the End the whole time.
Oh no, different movie.
I was waiting for all the actors to come in because I know there's a lot of actors.
That's a different movie.
And I'm like, this is a whole fucking different movie.
So the thing. So he pulls the lever. It goes underground, and you meet the network.
Yep.
So there are. I want to say there's probably like. So there's obvious ones. Actors that have been in all three movies. So Simon Pegg, obviously. Nick Frost, obviously.
The dad from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, so that's who plays the network. So it's very funny.
Oh, no way.
He plays almost like a we'll say a higher male presence. We'll say in all three. He plays the stepdad who he doesn't like, but he's afraid of in Shaun of the Dead. And then he plays the police captain.
What's his name again?
Bill Nye. Oh, no. What the fuck is his name? Fuck, I just watched this movie.
Anyways. We gotta go back.
I was gonna say Pete, but no, that's his fucking roommate. Shit.
Go ahead.
It's not Kevin. Doesn't matter. Fucking people are fucking like, hey, idiot.
I know.
Oh, he calls him dad. No.
My phone died.
That sucks. Philip. So, okay. Sorry. So he plays, Philip the stepdad in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
He plays the police captain in Hot Fuzz. And then he plays the network in The World's End. So he plays kind of like higher up people in all three. Martin Freeman is another one that makes an appearance in all three movies. So he plays O-Man in The World's End. He plays in the Hot Fuzz. He plays, Nicholas's boss in the police force in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So he plays that. And then in Shaun of the Dead, he plays the Shaun equivalent on Yvonne's side when he runs into Yvonne. He's in that moment. So there's two, and then Ray Spall is the third person who makes an appearance in all three. So he plays the kid who says you got red on you in Shaun of the Dead. He's one of the detective Andy's in the second one, and then the third one, he's the guy that O-Man is showing the house to.
Oh.
So and then there's another one.
A small part. I wonder why he would only play that.
Right?
Why wouldn't he be one of the boys?
I don't know, because you'd think, right? See, I like the five guys though. I think they're a perfect five. Okay. I think the only other person that made an appearance in all three, aside from where they were all really small parts, was there's a woman who owns the place that they stay at in The World's End. And then in Hot Fuzz, I believe she plays the woman who says fascist. And then in Shaun of the Dead, she plays the mom equivalent on the Yvonne. So it's there's a lot of small actors, but
right.
So you didn't like the five guys. Okay, what was the problem?
Oh shit. I don't know names.
Okay, well just
there was the one guy I was not a fan. I think he made it more towards the end.
Are you talking about the Patty Constantine, the tall guy who plays Steven? A name you should be familiar with.
I don't know names. Not O-Man.
Okay, there's O-Man. There's Peter.
Not the original two.
So Peter's the guy that they leave in the park, who gets taken in the park. Who?
Not the guy in the car. Not Steve.
Okay.
So Peter.
Yeah. Okay.
Has to be Peter.
Yeah.
Does he have a round nose?
He's got a pretty round nose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's supposed to be the Ophi one. He usually plays a villain in movies, right? But
don't like it. No, because Steve comes back later with the car.
Yeah, Steve saves the day.
Not Steve.
Okay.
doesn't she end up with Steve?
Yes.
Then no.
Which
not
is
Steve.
yeah. Okay, actually, you know what? If we're gonna a great addition, if you ask me, Rosamund Pike is amazing in this movie, right? The main girl. She's fucking awesome. I like that she comes back at the end too, because they send her away, like they told her to get the fuck out like halfway through the movie, and then she comes back and they're like, oh, you came back for us. She's like, yeah. It's like, you got lost, didn't you? Yeah. So
I do like that he finally got her in the bathroom, and it's only because he was trying to tell her about the aliens.
Yeah. That is, I
kind of showed a character transformation a bit, because the sex wasn't on his mind until she said it.
No, it's true. He definitely does have a character arc until he starts. It's like, no, I got to make it to the very end. It's not until the end. Okay, what did you actually? Okay, so the biggest thing about this movie is the end.
Right.
Like after the world actually ends. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was just it becomes like post-apocalyptic and
I don't care. Just fucking end it. Like, it's one of those things, man. Just drop it.
Yeah. I remember
There should have been them sitting on the tree hill, and you don't know.
I would have been okay with that ending too. I think there's more of a character arc with the ending that we have, where he orders the 5 waters. But at the same time, no, because he's traveling with his younger friends. So it's like he's still stuck in the past, but he orders 5 waters. But maybe that's it. Maybe it's like it's like he was never going to survive. It was like, in order to be happy, he has to be there. Maybe. I don't know.
I think it was just one of those. What was the point?
Yeah. Okay.
You also said earlier that he was an asshole.
Oh, he's a fucking dick. This guy, I couldn't be. There are very few people that I could say wholeheartedly, like, I would never be friends with this person. Like, I'd party with them once and be like, fuck this guy. Like
the fact that Pete's name is still on the car.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. And that was really brushed over.
Yeah.
Nobody really reacted to that he still had the same car and you never transferred it over.
It's just such a dick. One thing I do want to point out, well,
you knew he was when he said his mom was dead.
Oh,
just
terrible.
to hang out with his friend again.
It's shitty. One thing I do like about this movie, so going back to everything is referenced earlier or foreshadowed. So there are, I want to say 13 pubs in the movie. Is there 12 or 13?
12.
The names of the pubs tell you what's going to happen. Yeah, so check it out.
The 2-headed dog is the twins.
The twins. Okay, so the very first one's called The First Post. Okay, so they go in. It's the very first bar. The second one's called The Old Familiar. They walk in, and it's literally the first bar again. And they make a joke about wow, this looks like the same exact bar.
Yeah.
It's called The Old Familiar. The third one's called The Famous Cock. I want to say that's where they run into an old friend in that one. Is that that might be the one where they run into the old drug dealer.
And he's like, I got to make sure if they're real.
Yeah, no. They don't even know yet. They haven't figured out it's aliens yet. They run into the guy and they start talking to him, and he's like, "Stop talking to me." And then there's a phone call.
Okay.
Where he gets a call from the network.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then he's like, "Thanks a lot, guys," and he walks away, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. It's that one, I want to say.
No, what are you talking about? That conversation happened after they found out.
Do they? Is that it?
Because he's like, oh, he knows me, and if he doesn't know me,
then
he's a
sorry.
blank.
Sorry. You are fucking correct. You are 100% correct. I apologize. No. Sorry.
I'm like, wait.
You're right. The famous cock is actually Gary. I'm sorry. Gary walks in, and the guy recognizes him because he banned him years ago.
Okay.
That's the famous cock. So he walks out and he drinks the beer on the table. So that's that one. Okay, I'm sorry. I got them confused. The next one's called The Crossed Hands, which is the first time they fight. The next one's called The Good Companions, which is that might be I think that's the one where I'm talking about the good companions. It's either that or the next one's called The Trusty Servant. Sorry. Fuck. The Trusty Servant's the one with the drug dealer. The Good Companions is the one where they just pretend to be having a good time. They're just pretending to be drinking and having a good time. So then the Trusty Servant is the one where they run into the drug dealer. The Two-Headed Dog is the twins. The Mermaid is the girls. It's like the club, right?
Oh.
The Beehive is the one where they have the fight with like hundreds of robots and he like rips his fucking shirt off, which is I love it when he puts the two stools and uses them as like gloves.
And he's, fucking
love it. And like, that's when Nick Frost.
Unlikely.
It's true. That's when Nick Frost becomes Nick Frost. He like rips his shirt. He's like, I hate this fucking town. And that's where it becomes like a fucking excellent movie. Okay. Sorry. The King's Head. Okay. Is the King's Head. It's like right after Gary slams his head on the thing. They go to the thing. But the reason why it's called the King's Head is because it's the one where like Gary admits that he was wrong.
Okay.
And he like, that's when he like realizes how much of a piece of shit he is. The Hole in the Wall is the next one. That's where Steven drives the car through the wall, but then he gets pulled out, and that's when you think Steven's going to die. The next one, and then the last one's called The World's End, which is the world literally ends. So it's like every bar name is something that happens. I dig it. Like stuff like that.
I had no idea.
It's ridiculous. I love it. Like,
I wonder if you rewatch it again to the first time they do it, if something will connect again.
Yeah. Sorry, what do you mean?
If you watch them do it as teenagers.
Oh.
Do you think something happens in every bar again the same?
That's a good question. Well, I know. Okay, yeah. So everything that happens when they're kids also happens. Like, so in the Beehive scene, he rips his shirt open as a kid as well.
Yeah.
He does the exact same thing with the shirt.
Yeah, but I'm saying though,
the mermaid was the marmalade sandwich. That's also where they ditch Rosamund Pike.
The twins, are they in the first when they're kids?
I don't know about the twins. That's the one. Maybe they might have been referenced, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%.
See, I'm wondering now. I had no idea.
And then I'm assuming the Trusty Servant, that's the first time they buy the drugs off the guy.
Right.
And then the other one. Okay, so the one where he gets kicked out, it shows him getting kicked out as a kid. The other one where they actually do the fight in the bathroom, it shows him punch the wall.
Yeah.
Because he goes to punch the wall again and it's already broken. And he's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's been broken since he was a kid.
And he tells the kid, like, I punched this whole, like, what a fucking loser first time.
Right? Who
trying
brags
to
about
brag that you were drink here 20 years ago while peeing.
What a fucking idiot.
Like, the kid's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Just, let's go. Yeah, he's an idiot. That's my opinion. I think he's really, really fucking ridiculous. I would have never been friends with him ever.
But either way. I like this movie a lot. I think it's very good. I know you weren't the biggest fan, but thank you for watching. I thought that was very cool of you.
Anytime, brother. Anyways, till next time.
Bye. See ya.